Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. It is Tuesday night, just about 9 o'clock, a little bit earlier than that, on the East Coast, where we have the coronavirus, and it is just about 8 o'clock in Texas, where they have the coronavirus. And we are coming to you live on YouTube and live on Periscope. And alhamdulillah, we are coming to you coronavirus free. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the hardest working Imam that I know, Imam Azhar.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings to all our listeners. Welcome, beautiful world. We welcome you to another episode of Raw Islam with Brother Carl and Imam Azhar. As tonight we will discuss the topics that you select. We don't want to make this world any worse than what it is right now, nor do we want to lose whatever momentum is out there of happiness and positivity. We want to make sure that we're building collectively on a positive note. So without further ado, we welcome you all back tonight, and I'm going to hand it back to Carl, where he's going to tell us the topics that you selected from an array of topics presented to all of us tonight. Carl?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you did not know, you're about to know, so buckle up. If you follow us on Twitter, VENNETWORK, if you follow us there every Monday, sometimes Tuesday morning, depending on how energetic I get, we post a poll where you, our fans, you, our listeners, you, our supporters, get to pick the topics that you want us to talk about. And so we post this poll, and it goes up, and you get to vote. And this week, the poll was posted on time. That was a little pat myself on the back. And I always cheer for is what's the deal with? And once again, surprisingly, and I know that sounds weird, but I am actually very surprised because it's happening more often than not, which is weird to me. We had yet another tie. And our tie today, or our tie this week, was Did You Wash Your Hands? And manipulated media. So there you go. And next week, if you would like to take part in the poll, make sure you go to Twitter and follow us at VENNETWORK, where you can cast your vote on what we talk about. And with that, back to you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. We have another tie, and I think the tie means that our listeners are so interested that they want to cover not one but two topics on this week's episode. So that being said, I'm going to pause for a second while I take a sip of water, because of course hydration is key for what we're doing tonight. Let us begin with Did You Wash Your Hands? For those who know, and for I'm doing much better, and I'm just recovering, feeling a bit weak. But nevertheless, I did venture out yesterday on my first day back on my feet to the grocery stores to see what I can salvage from what I heard. Truth be told, it wasn't too bad, not like Florida when they ransacked the entire store, save the vegan option department in the cold cut, gloves, what else, masks, rubbing alcohol. So it's quite weird to kind of see that everything is fine. But the point that comes up, as Vice News and many other outlets covered, why are people buying and stocking up on toilet paper? We saw a news clip, a video clip of a woman who had a brawl with another woman and her daughter, assumably, over toilet paper, and the management of the grocery store had to intervene and they had to call the cops just because of toilet paper. So we can go on a tangent right now and talk about why toilet paper is off the shelves and why Charmin and that bear isn't speaking up about it. Or we could talk about why homemade hand sanitizer isn't possible because there is no rubbing alcohol in the market. Or what we can talk about, which is the third option, which I want to talk about, is sanitation. Sorry, not sanity, sanitation. Keeping ourselves clean, personal hygiene. It's baffling to me that on late night shows, many talk hosts I can name two of them, but I won't want to name them, spoke about how the governor of New York stated not to enter into a full train. So if the train that pulls up, the compartment in front of you is full, do not enter that. And they mocked him by saying, when is the train empty? If you find a compartment of the train empty, it's only because of the fact that there is either something terribly wrong in there, it smells bad, or someone must have used the bathroom, something must have happened in there. And so, what we've seen in our world with the advancement of time and the progression of time, the advancement of technology, is the opposite direction when it comes to self personal hygiene and cleanliness. In Islam, we are taught fundamentally that cleanliness is a key pillar of our faith. Not only is it a key pillar, but in Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, At-tuhuru shatrul iman, an-nadafatu nisful iman, that cleanliness is half of our faith. Half of my faith revolves around cleanliness. I cannot do many of the key components of my faith until or unless I am clean. Cleanliness to many means that you smell good. So we have, for example, fabric softener, or you get those beads that you put into your machine that extends or prolongs a good scent, Downy Calm, different things Carl is showing us that people put to extend the duration of good scent emitting from their clothing. What's the use of good smelling clothing if a person physically hasn't bathed in weeks? You can have perfumes and you can have good smelling clothing, but Islam says to cleanse yourself. إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ, when you get up to pray, wash your hands. فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ, wash your faces. وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ, your hands to your elbow. We're told to wash what is called ablution in Islam. This isn't just a practice or a ritual in faith. Matter of fact, it is key when it comes to preserving cleanliness in our society, because if there's any element of dirt that may have attached to your body, the last thing you want it to do is either become a part of you or to transmit to someone else. So clean yourself. We clean ourselves 5 times a day with the ritual ablution, from rinsing the mouth, putting nose water up our nostrils, and even washing our feet. And we're prescribed by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that at least minimum once a week take a shower. And that doesn't mean jump under the shower or jump into the pool or jump into the tub. It means washing yourself with flowing water from head to toe. We need to be clean as people. So in Islam, we're taught cleanliness. We're taught to wash our hands before food. We're taught to wash our hands after food. It's baffling to me, in America, in a first world country, the leading country in the world, in bathrooms of restaurants, in stalls in airports, you have signs reminding employees to wash their hands before they go back to work. How could you even fathom that the person who's cooking your food, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-star restaurant or it's a takeout, that they are reminded to wash their hands? They're being told to wash their hands. Why is that reminder being given? Because there's been one too many incidents in this country that led to lawsuits for people to believe that personal hygiene is imperative for cleanliness of food and for prevention of lawsuits. You don't want to see someone's hair in your food, nor do you want to see the reminiscence of someone's feces or urine in your food. And that's a sad thing to see, but that's the staunch reality of our world. You go into a bathroom stall, men or women. I hear the cases even from my wife and from my daughters, when people will go in and use a bathroom and they'll just walk right out. So they're telling us now with coronavirus, use hand sanitizer. So yeah, we use hand sanitizer. We rub it over our hands. Don't touch your face. Imagine, just because of this virus, people are now washing their hands. You can hardly find antibacterial soap. You cannot find hand sanitizer at all. But people have been eating with these same hands. They've been touching their face with these same hands. They've been serving other people's food, their laundry, papers. These are a accumulative amount of bacteria flow that is in our society. Someone was talking the other day about money, like cash money may lead to bacteria or the transmission of coronavirus. If you can have someone put money under a microscope and see how much bacteria already exists on this paper, it's disgusting. It's nasty. So again, the reason I'm talking about my faith teachings today is because in Islam, we're taught cleanliness is imperative. It is a pinnacle part of your worship. And when it's a pinnacle part of your worship, it's a pinnacle part of your faith. When it's a pinnacle part of your faith, it's a pinnacle part of who you represent yourself as a citizen of society. Imagine if we were clean. We were to also do one more thing, Carl, because I'm sure there's going to be many questions that we have or comments. I want to say one more thing. Beyond cleanliness of our external, our clothes, our hands, our body, is also when we go to the bathroom. I'm happy to see here in Texas, many places I use the bathroom, that there's a water bottle somewhere in the bathroom. Well, if you don't know what the water bottle's about, or a bidet, what these things are about, it's becoming common now. It's proven that you need to wash yourself after you use the bathroom. So keep off the Charmaine and keep off all these toilet papers. You really don't need it. But you only need it when it comes to secondary. You're supposed to wash your area of urine first, and then you're supposed to wipe it. Why? Because any traces of that bacteria that will stick to your body, that will then stick to your underwear or undergarments, will then start causing dirt. And you're not supposed to even be that dirty. Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us to go to a bathroom in a secluded area. They used to dig holes in the ground and use the bathroom and then fill it back up. So flushing the toilet and also washing yourself. If you use the bathroom and you do number 2, you're supposed to wash yourself. So in Islam, we're taught, and this is not just a cultural practice for Muslims, it is a cultural practice for more than 4 continents. Asia, Africa, many parts of Europe, yes, and also in Australia now. People are accustomed to washing themselves after the bathroom. It's only here in America that we're still fighting it off. Soon we will have those personal bidets in the bathroom once again, where you can wash yourself after going to the bathroom. Wiping it off will not cleanse it. If you tell me, and I'll stop with this, Carl. If you tell me that when there is mud or that there's dirt that's splattered onto your windshield from a passing truck or a cement truck or a construction truck or whatever else, and you merely use the window wipers, is your windshield going to become clean, or is it going to become more dirty? I'm sure you'll agree with me. All it does is smears the dirt. It doesn't clean the dirt. You need to press the button and release the washer fluid to add fluid to the dirt, to then wipe it down so that the dirt can be, as they say, washed off. Back to you, Carl.
So I will say the analogy that I heard, rather than the mud on the windshield with the windshield wipers, the analogy that I heard was you step in dog dew with your sneaker and you can only clean it off with a dry paper towel. And
still smells.
Yeah, and you're not going to get it clean. You have to physically use water to get it clean. But yes, good analogy. Comments. Sunshine said she's late because she had to wash her hands. And Umi, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but Umi says that body odor will always come through no matter how much fragrance you use to cover it up, and that is 100% true. And any parent that has teenagers, especially teenage boys with Axe body spray around the house, can tell you that. One thing that you touched on that I actually have an answer for, ironically, because it was driving me nuts. And when I saw the post on CNN.com, I grabbed it and read it. So the toilet paper. Why is everybody buying toilet paper? It's a panic buying. There is no logic behind it. There is no reason behind it. Somebody just went and bought a bunch of toilet paper, and somebody saw that, and somebody saw that, and somebody saw that, and it caused a panic. There is no actual reason to be buying this much toilet paper other than it's a panicked buying. Like when it snows, people run out to buy bread and milk. Why? What are you going to do with bread and milk? You can't even make French toast without eggs. So it's just a panic buying that the flu is this coronavirus is coming. Let's buy toilet paper. Um, the other thing I will go back with Sunshine. Yes, we did start a little early because we have to end in about 9 minutes because unfortunately there was a passing in Imam Azhar's congregation, and he is heading over to that house when we are completed to sit with the family. So those are our comments, and those are my thoughts, although I had something else I was going to say, and I don't remember what. So with that, back to you.
Well, for those who are panic buyers and they are taking away the resources from those who would actually need it. For example, masks for the nurses and doctors at the hospital, and for those who are actually sick. See, a mask will not help you in the state of coronavirus and even in the flu. A person who has the flu should be wearing it because it will prevent those particles from going out to the open. And so it's common sense. If you're not sick, don't buy up all the masks. And if you're selling them on Amazon or on eBay or online, you're a nut job. I'm sorry to say that. And I'm not sorry, actually. I'm not sorry. You're a nut job. You're a creep. If you're going to keep on selling these things online, what are you planning to do with the money? I hope the people who are hoarding the supplies to make an extra buck contract the coronavirus from that buck that they make. I'm sorry. I'm high on my meds today and I can't take that. People are crazy. Carl, let me ask you something. Imagine you hoard up all the bread. In 7 days, the bread goes bad, right? It gets fungus. So you're going to be throwing it out as it is. And just say you hoarded up enough hand sanitizer and enough meds, whatever else to survive. You're going to die a miserable death. You know why? Because everyone's going to die before you and you're just going to be sanitizing your hands and going outside and everyone's dead. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Rob a bank? You don't need to rob a bank. The bank is open. And if you get money, what you're going to buy with it? The whole world is gone as it is. So you're going to die in a state of misery when everyone else will be dead. So come on, guys, wake up. This is America. And I don't know why. Time after time, I've seen it too many times in hurricanes. People become so big-headed. They think that, you know what, they're gonna have to save the world. I've seen back in the days these videos of people who've made these underground bunkers with like 6 months worth of food. Why don't you just dig a grave and die? It's easier. Why do you have to spend all that money and build up these bunkers? You're not gonna live if you eat all those Chef Boyardees and all those canned beans and all those Debbie cakes. You might die of, I don't know, high cholesterol or diabetes, and there's going to be no doctor to help you. So come on, guys. Now let's go to the second point here, Carl. The second point is that about what was it again, Carl? The mystery, or what do you call it?
It's about the media. So what happened was Twitter unveiled this week a new stamp, and now what it said is escaping me, but if the media is not true, like the video or the image or something like that, and it's fake and it's been altered, I know deep fake was running around for a while. If it's one of those, Twitter is actually slapping a label on it now that says manipulated media. And before I hand it back to you, just to go over the comments here. Sunshine said they just buy toilet paper, water, and bread. 100%. That's all they do. Sister Layla salams. It says that her message was retracted. I don't know why. Here she wrote it again. Hold on. Sunshine says to you, condolences to the family. And she said that was a sunshine level curse that you laid out there. Sister Layla reposted her comment, and she says, one thing I hate is bad odor, so I'm conscious about it. I also teach my children the do's and don'ts about cleanliness and hygienes. Sorry to hear about the family in the mosque. To Allah we belong, and to Allah we return. And for the last 5 minutes, back to you.
So everyone, understand this thing about the media and the hype. There's valid points everywhere. Yes, more people die from the flu, and yes, the death rate so far of coronavirus seems to exceed that of the flu based on the cases. The fact that we don't understand what coronavirus is in totality as Lysol wipes and Lysol spray claim to kill coronavirus in humans. I don't know when those labels were printed and when they came about to understand what coronavirus is.
Okay. So no, I saw that. I saw that on the internet. I saw that, and
Uh-huh.
I came home and I have a can of Lysol, and it's been in my house for probably 2 or 3 years, and we only take it out and spray the couches down when the kids are sick.
Hmm.
But it's not on it.
Okay.
That is not on the label on the one under my sink.
Okay, so beautiful. So the one that you had from 2, 3 years ago does not have it on it. I had bought a pack of Lysol wipes a few weeks ago before I got sick. I'm gonna check it out to see if it is there, and I will let you know. But Carl, in 2009, President Obama signed an economic revival type of bill, and the goal was to get the economy back up and running. And he stated that this economic thing that he passed would be good for 10 years. We all remember the 2008 recession. It killed many people monetarily. It destroyed a lot of mom and pop businesses. It took a lot of people out of their homes. It was a bad time. And again, this bad time was coming on us because of the fact of how we live in America. When you live in a society that you're making 30,000 but then you have access to 4,000 on a credit card, or you're making 90,000 and you have access to an unlimited fund credit card, or charge card, you don't call it a credit card, you call it a charge card. What you're asking for is a recipe of disaster. When people don't understand the value of money, they don't live within their means, they accumulate high level of loans, which then are profited by these companies through something called interest. Ultimately, there's going to be a crash somewhere. And so I've been saying this for 2 years, Carl. And I don't know if we've talked about this, but I've told my wife since we came to Frisco, where a house would not even be on it wouldn't be, many times a house wouldn't even be listed and it would be sold. People would put their house on sale within a week, it was gone. It was such a big demand. But I said to her when we came here a year and a half ago that the recession was coming. And I predicted that there was going to be recession very soon in this country and in our world. Traveling to Saudi Arabia and Dubai last 2, 3 years, I've noticed and I've witnessed myself there has been a recession ongoing in the Middle East, and America is and Europe is about to get hit by this recession very bad. How bad, time will tell, and only God knows what's going to happen in this recession. I believe the recession was coming. The recession is here. Coronavirus just took the bullet because Wuhan is where all these electronics are made, and shutting it down is not going to kill us. You know why? Because there's too many computers out there, and there's not enough buyers. There's too many cell phones out there, and people are sick and tired of the competition. There are too many cars out there, and car sales have been the worst. House sales have been down for the longest time. Interest rates are falling. So I'm skeptic. I understand there is a coronavirus, and I'm not going to say here tonight there is no coronavirus. What I'm going to say is the following. I don't think coronavirus is the problem. It is part of the problem. The other part of the problem is 2,000 points crashing of the stock market yesterday, only for it to come back up 1,300 today. For oil to crash so bad that it cripples America's refinery system and oil business, there is an economic war also ongoing. So I believe the media will never and has never been telling us the whole story. The media is only telling us part of a story, which they want us to believe is the story. But in summary, there is coronavirus, there's an economic war, there is a global recession, and there is tough times coming ahead. So my advice to all our listeners tonight, be very grateful for what you have, be content and satisfied with what you have, and live simple, because it's in living simple that you'll be able to get through tough times and you'll be able to appreciate good times. With that, I'm going to give it back to you, Carl. Enlighten us with what people think, and we'll close it from there. Carl?
Got to turn my mic back on. Is actually an interesting conversation going on. There's 2 or 3 comments. Apparently, we sent people running to their supply closet to read the labels.
No way.
Sister Layla said her brother has one, and coronavirus is listed on there. Sunshine actually kind of proves our point. She said the Lysol spray she has does not have it listed on there, but the wipes does list human coronavirus, and she says that the wipes are much newer. So I think, Sister Layla, I would ask when your brother has one and it's on it. Yeah, I'd ask when he bought that can of Lysol spray. But I know Imam Azhar has to go, so we will wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. I want to thank everybody on Periscope. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. I want to thank everybody for joining us and for sharing and for voting in the poll. We'll post a poll next week. Let's not have a tie. So, Sunshine, make sure you get in there and vote this next week. No missing it this time. And also, last week I went up to the website and I uploaded the new logos. I'm not wearing one, but the blue logos are now up in the store. So if you head over to vennetwork.org, click on the swag tag. We have all kinds of little hats and sweatshirts and halal t-shirts and the whole coffee mugs and the whole 9 yards with the new, I always get this reversed, the new blue logo on it. So until next time, I want to thank everybody for tuning, joining, and commenting and sharing and liking. And we will say, Assalamu alaikum.